Bonjour à tous, hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back fellow adventure seekers to the second episode of our Sri Lanka adventure. And welcome to Ella. I hope you know where Ella is. If not to worry, let me give you a crash course. Ella is a small town in the Badula district of Uva province. It is approximately 200 kilometers east of Colombo and is situated at an elevation of 1041 meters above sea level. The area has a rich biodiversity, dense with numerous varieties of flora and fauna. Ella is surrounded by hills covered with cloud forests and tea plantations. And some fantastic landscape including the famous train route through the tea garden. But the first view should be from our balcony. Yep, that's right, the famous Ella 9 Arch. We will go to the arch, but not today, because during the day it stays overcrowded. It must be an early morning activity. For now, let's go to Little Adams Peak.
Little Adams Peak is only an hour of walk from our hotel and should have a good view from the top. Even though the weather is not really the best, I'm hoping to capture some moody light.
On my way to the Little Adams Peak, I actually wanted to go to this actual Adams Peak, which is much higher than this one, but again had no time, so I had to stick to the Little Adams Peak. It's steep stairs, so as you can see, I'm breathing heavily, plus very crowded, a lot of noisy people, so that makes things a little more annoying. Anyway, I'm hoping that the view from the top will be better. Let's see. Yoo-hoo! Made it to the top. Actually, it is not really the top of the Little Adams Peak. I went to the top, which is a little bit before, and it was full of people. So I kind of took a little harder road to come down, up, and another down, and look at this place. There is no one here. That's the thing. You go to the most common place, it is crowded. But a place which has amazing view, just not that famous on Instagram, you get it for yourself. Anyway, now let's fly the bird and find out what we can get around this place. Shall we? That's it, end of a lovely day. Yes, the sunset could have been a little bit more gorgeous, but I think it was quite moody. I will take that. So good night for today and see you tomorrow early morning at another spectacular place. Hopefully with a bit less cloud. So, ciao ciao. Good morning from the preferred place of Sir Thomas Lipton, the great tea typhoon. I came very early in the morning for hope of some good light. I let Ricky and Priyanka sleep a bit longer, but I could just not see anything. It's a lot of fog. I don't know what will happen. I will probably wait a little bit longer and see if the fog passes by. The sun is coming now and then. Let's see. This is supposed to be an amazing viewpoint if I see something. If I do manage to get something, I will show you. If not, bad luck.
I figured that the fog won't go off easily from the top. So better to go down and try something with the tea gardens.
Next destination, Ravana Falls. Let's see what the weather says there. So, let's go.
Located in the Nuwara Eliya Wildlife Sanctuary, Ravana Falls is a 25-meter waterfall that is a spectacle to watch during rainy season. However, the flow of water reduces dramatically in the dry season.
This place is now really full of people and I really need to disappear from here. I thought that in the evening I will go to this Ela Peak or Ela Rock because it will have a good view. But you know, when I looked at it, it did not look that promising. So probably my visit to this little hiking that I did yesterday was already good enough. We had some long days, so today I will take it easy and tomorrow we have packed up schedule. So, ciao for now, good night and see you tomorrow early morning. Good morning. Today is a special day. We will take that fantastic Ela to Nuwara Eliya train. But before that, let's have a close look at the Nine Arch Bridge.
It's early morning and we came to the bridge. During the daytime it's jam-packed and we don't like crowds. Also, we want to take it as a little challenge to get any popular place empty. Here the ambience is very nice when the crowd is relatively less.
You know, this bridge is not really that spectacular. There are thousands of bridges like that in the world. But probably it's the social media that has made it more popular. Anyway, there is a very mythical, interesting story about this bridge. It was built during First World War and there were like World War going on and British were building it. So during that time, they kind of rerouted all the iron supplies for the war. But it was actually constructed then later by the locals with the local sandstones. That's an interesting story that even if you don't have the actual material, you could actually pull up something like that.
Interesting story. It tells you when there is a will, there is a way. Now it's time to catch the train. have arrived at Ela train station. Now the first thing we have to do is to collect our tickets.
Excuse me, I have this mobile ticket. Yeah, this one. It is okay? Okay, thank you. I have got my ticket. In fact, I purchased the ticket online in advance, and they told us that I have to show that in a counter and get a ticket. Actually, that's not the case anymore. You can actually get the QR code, and you just show the QR code and they probably scan it, and that's it. You don't have to take anything paper. It's very much paperless. I purchased it a little bit in advance because these trains are now in high demand. Seems like a fashion now, getting through this beautiful tea garden on the train. It was a little bit more expensive, but I think it was a good peace of mind instead of waiting on the big queue or really thinking whether you will get the ticket or not. So I think it is okay.
Now let's wait for the train to arrive. But as per the locals, this train always doesn't come at proper time. Let's see what happens today.
Finally, the train arrived, and it is quite on time. It should take us around 2.5 hours to reach Nuwara Eliya, and the scene is supposed to be amazing. Let's see. The train slowly started going via this beautiful hill country. Twisted mountain rails have always been our favorite, and this is not an exception.
Become very crowded as everyone wants to be at the gate, kind of modern fashion.
We did manage to get some opportunities to capture some beautiful sceneries. The train really passes through a stunning natural setting.
Arrived at Nuwara. The journey was very nice, but it was too crowded, full of tourists. It's good to see that tourists are coming back to Sri Lanka, but frankly speaking, that's not the kind of thing that we like. Anyway, about the journey, we didn't need to do the entire journey. If we had done half of it, it would have been good enough to experience the route, but it's okay. Now our car is waiting here, we'll go back. But on the way, we'll stop at few important places.
What an amazing setting, isn't it? I'm hoping that the train will pass from there. Well, it's always a hard thing in Sri Lanka because trains are never on time and you never know when it will come. But let's see, it probably makes sense to give it a try. But it's also a lot of people, so I will probably do something from the sky or going into the water. Let's see. That didn't go so badly. Now we still have some time. So let's visit a nearby tea garden.
The name of this tea estate is Damro Tea Estate. We have some time in hand, So let's go visit the tea estate, the tea factory, and then taste some tea. India has many tea estates. We have visited some of them, but we never visited any tea factory. So it will be a different experience. I know you don't drink tea, you don't have any bad habits. You told that many times. I know.
I didn't say anything.
I know you since long time, okay? So you don't need to say anything. Everything is written on your face. And nowadays, Ricky is also joining you in all this. He also doesn't drink tea and all. Anyway, let's see what the tea garden has to offer. We started with the tea processing plant. The tea leaves are first collected, then they go through some careful roasting and grinding process involving a good degree of automation. Finally, different types of tea are ready for end consumption, and some explanation from the expert explaining features of different teas.
Chinese word. So this one also black tea lightest version. This one pico is a black tea circle light, medium light. So this two.
There are also samples of many different varieties of teas. At the end, some tasting of the tea itself, followed by a visit to the beautiful tea garden. That concludes a rather long day of travel. So good night and see you tomorrow early morning at the famous Ambuluwawa Tower.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ambuluwawa. You know, the place with that white minar, which had been very popular in latest days. We had a very hectic day yesterday. We had to visit a lot of places. So today we took it easy. We came here and we'll start around 7:15. The ticket counter opens around 7:30. So it should be okay. We should be able to reach early. It gets quite crowded, so going out early is important. And we'll probably take the tuk-tuk of our owner, of the owner of the homestay, because our big car might not fit in that narrow road. So yeah, let's go and see how that minar looks, especially climbing up. Came up here and it's really, really beautiful. Early in the morning, it is so peaceful. I don't think it can be explained only by talking through it. Now let's go up, fly the bird and see how it looks. And we are outside. And you see that? That little stairs? That's where we go up. So let's go! It's actually quite steep going up, and you have these little viewpoints all around. Very nice. And now we are outside and it's getting narrower. Don't absolutely come here when it is crowded. You will get stuck all the time. Top of the world! My God, this is so crazy. And it's super windy. Sometime you will see these guys. They might look very cute, but be careful because they can actually take your stuff away. One of them was about to take my battery pack away. Wow, it was so amazing. Worth every bit of it. But honestly speaking, if you are scared of height or you have vertigo, just don't go. It is like you're standing on a point, like, I don't know, 70, 80 meters above. It can get scary if you look down from there. It's like a sheer drop of 100 meters or something. But I enjoyed it. I like this type of things, and it was really amazing. Now, architecture ticked. Let's go to some natural locations. Waterfalls. It is around 56 kilometers and would take us around 2 hours to reach there. But the route is beautiful. It passes through small villages and paddy fields, giving you an ambience of peace and simplicity that is getting more and more missing in our daily lives. Okay, so we finally arrived to the Aberdeen Waterfall, and there are actually two different viewpoints. One is up and one is down to the close to the river. We will not go to the one at the top because I don't think the view from there is very good, because you kind of go to the corner of the waterfall, but you don't actually see the waterfall from there, at least based on my research. That's what I figured. So I will rather go down to the lower viewpoint and see if I can see the whole waterfall or not. I have no idea how much water is there, because as I told you before, it is not exactly rainy season here, it's more the shoulder season. Okay, let's go and see what I can find. So, chop chop. There is one thing that I'm liking about this place is that there are not hundreds of people. Everywhere else we went, it felt like the whole world is in Sri Lanka this year. I have no idea why, but that is what the situation is. So our situation was that only during the morning we could get some useful time with no one around. But after that, it was a disaster. At least here, things are much better. And another thing is that when you go for a waterfall, you have to mostly go during a season where there is a lot of water and things are overcast. Some people confirmed that there is enough water now, but that is not the only thing. Now, it's like 1:30 now in the afternoon. Not a real good time to see waterfall. You normally would like to come here during early morning, but it's overcast. So hopefully it will be good enough. Let's see. You know, at a place like that, you have to come early in the morning, because there are always this little mist on the forest, and that gives an amazing ambience. Fantastic for photography. But we're in Sri Lanka only for 2 weeks. We do not have infinite number of mornings. So we have to live with whatever we can.
it's so amazing. Oh, the effort. The route is actually quite beautiful. It is through this narrow forest path, but as any forest path, you should be very careful and come with a good shoe because a flip-flop might be dangerous. Anyway, let's go journey and see how the waterfall looks from a bird-eye perspective. That concludes our visit to the Aberdeen Waterfall. It is beautiful, isn't it? Next destination is Lakshapana Waterfall, where we will spend tonight. We have actually a forest resort that we have booked and we will stay there. Let's see how it is. We'll probably not go down to the waterfall today. We'll go down tomorrow morning. Hopefully get some mist and some better lighting condition, even though I cannot complain about today. It was very nice. Anyway, so let's go and see you at Lakshapana Waterfall. Good morning. Welcome to Upper Lakshapana Waterfall. I wanted to go down there and see the viewpoint from the down, but this upper viewpoint is also very beautiful and it is just next to the road. So I thought that I will come here. This entire place is so peaceful, you know. So far in Sri Lanka, wherever we went, we kind of saw a lot of tourists and a lot of people. I hope you can hear my voice because the waterfall is really loud. Anyway, so we saw a lot of tourists and a lot of people everywhere, but this place is completely tranquil. There is not many people, at least till now. And yesterday evening when we came here, there were like a handful of people. And early in the morning, there is a Buddhist monastery. The chant starts there. Some people might find that disturbing, but for me, it was like a peaceful ambience. Anyway, I don't think you will understand the magnitude of the waterfall just by sitting here. So let's fly the bird and get a full view of the waterfall with me standing there to give you a perspective of size. Let's go. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Now let's go down to the lower Lakshapana viewpoint from where we can see this gigantic waterfall falling from the sky. Let's go! So we are already on our way down and they said it will be like 600 meters. I guess they meant to say 600 meters in distance and not going down because the waterfall is like 80 meters or something, so cannot be 600 meters going down. Anyway, I've seen a lot of people going down with slippers. I would strongly recommend don't do that because these rocks have little moss, especially when it rains, like it rained yesterday night quite a lot. It can get very slippery and you might easily slip and fall down. So having a good shoe is quite important. I know I have seen many of those supermen who can just go there with slippers and say, yeah, that's adventure. Trust me, that is not adventure. Adventure is basically going to a natural place which is complicated to reach, but not without proper equipment. It's very important because if you fall down here on the rocks or on those those stones or the cement stairs, you can really get seriously hurt. So don't do that and come prepared. Anyway, let's go down and see how the lower viewpoint is. Yahoo! We made it! Look how beautiful it is and how grand it is. Now, let's make it even more interesting.
I love waterfalls. It brings some kind of peace of mind to me. This is a massive waterfall with an astonishing surrounding. The full glory of it can only be experienced during monsoon. Maybe one day I will come back to experience the rage of it during the rainy season.
So that's it. Our visit to the amazing hill country of Sri Lanka is over. What an amazing time we had. Those beautiful tea plantations, that train ride through the stunning landscape and these towering waterfalls. Overall, it was really a treat to the eyes. We have enjoyed it thoroughly and we hope that you have also enjoyed the same way as we did. If you did so, please give us a thumbs up. It really means a world to us. And if you have not done it already, please subscribe and press that bell icon to get notification of our upcoming adventures. So, ciao for now, and we see you at the southern seashore of Sri Lanka. Till then, keep exploring.